but I was really excited because we share a common theme in really unity and in mission. And so these themes are found in really John 17 and John 13:34. John 17, Jesus says, Lord, I want all these people to know our oneness, and I want them to be one so that the whole world will know that you sent me, is what Jesus said. And I love that. And then in John 13:34, Jesus says, I want you guys to love each other the way that I have loved you. And again, he says, so that the whole world will know that you are my disciples. And so this common theme of unity and of love and of loving each other, being a great witness to the world of something different, is special, and what we share. If any of you guys watched the royal wedding, the whole 13-minute message was about love and how it can change the world, and that was a powerful thing. A little bit about Bonton Farms. In short, we're really a farm that grows food in a food desert for a very impoverished community. It's really a vehicle to make disciples. Brokenness and drugs and prostitution and everything else is rampant down in Bonton, and so we really use a farm to ignite hope and to grow people and to show people what it really means to walk with Christ. And we help people get jobs and ignite hope and get out of poverty. And if you can imagine anything that keeps people from getting a job, or that keeps them going back into jail or back into addiction or whatever those things are, that's what we're there to do. So if you ever come down to Bonton Farms, we'll let you walk the goats and you collect some eggs from chickens and stuff like that. But really, we're there to grow people. And so I just wanted to start off with a couple of those things. I'm excited to be here tonight and just to be with Historic Church. And I want to thank you, wherever Hugh and Holly are, specifically for having this night, having us connected tonight. And so we look forward to a great band and great music and a great little talk from Hugh. So thank you guys very much for being here, and I look forward to getting to know each of you.
Well, welcome to Historic Church. We're so glad to be here. We printed the lyrics on this sheet of paper. I think it was on your seats. Join us as we sing, and you can sit or stand, whatever is comfortable for you guys.
Trouble for being here. Oh, thank you, thank you. Hey, so it's such an exciting thing that so many people are here right now, man. This is like blowing our expectations for sure. And every single time that we do one of these pop-ups, just God keeps blessing us in the craziest of ways. So this, as Dog was saying, our theme this today, is unity. And that's a really exciting thing to think about. And this next song we're going to sing is called Great Are You, Lord. And there's this line that says, and all the earth will shout your praise, our hearts will cry, these bones will sing. Great. You are so good.
Bring it all to peace. The storm surrounding me, let it break. At your name, still call the sea still. The rage in me to still every wave. At your name, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus. Whatever you're going through today, I just ask you to lay it at Jesus' feet because he makes the darkness tremble. So let's sing this together. Call the sea to still, the rage in me to still, every wave. At your name, breathe. Call these bones to breathe. Call these lungs to sing once again. I will praise Jesus. You make the darkness tremble. Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus.
so amazing to sing about a God that doesn't know fear, that can just wipe it away, the thought. That's the God that we're singing to. That is the Savior that we call Jesus. And I think whether you know Him or you've been going to church for your whole life, or whether you've never been, and this is the first church experience you've ever had, that doesn't change who God is. And that's what we love about it. That is why we sing. That's why we do this stuff. That's why we come up here and we worship Him. It's because He deserves it, and that's who He is. And so I thought it would be really, sure, Cassidy and I thought it would be really great to kind of end this moment with probably a song that we all know called How Great Thou Art. And so I'm going to ask us to do something. It's maybe uncomfortable, but wasn't the first pop-up about being uncomfortable? Where's Hugh? I think the first pop-up we did talked about getting uncomfortable, so we're going to get uncomfortable. So can we all stand up? I think we're going to sing to a God that is so great, so amazing, and I think He's worthy of us standing and just worshiping Him with everything that we have. So if you know this song, that's great. Sing it out. If you don't, we got the lyrics right there. But I want to read these verses. We're going to break this song down, and then we're going to sing it to our God. So if you got your lyrics there, read along with me. This is verse 1. It says, "O Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds that hands have made, I see the stars, I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed." What does that mean? That means that we have a great, big, amazing God that we can barely fathom, but He's there, and He wants to meet with each one of us. And then skip down a little bit. It says in verse 2, "When I think of God, His Son not sparing, sent Him to die, I scarce can take it in, that on the cross my burden gladly bearing, He bled and died to take away my sin." This God, this huge God that created the world, that created the stars, created the heavens, created the universe, sent His one and only Son, Jesus, for me, for each one of you, no matter where you are. He sent His Son for us. And I love this verse. It says, "I scarce can take it in." I can barely take this in. It's hard for me to fathom this idea that this God of the universe would send His Son for me. But He did. Whenever we deserved nothing, we got everything. So we're going to sing this out together. And I have a challenge for us. Let's blow the roof off this place. All right? "Oh Lord my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made." I see the stars. I see the stars. I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe display. All right, here's your chance. Here's your moment. Let's sing it out. "Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art." Sing this last verse. "And when I think of God, His Son not sparing, sent Him to die, I sing it out. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Let's sing that chorus one more time, just our voices. Let's lift it up as best we can. It sings my soul. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Amen. God, you are so good. And that is why we sing to you. That's why we worship you. That's why we do this thing. We gather together as a community. God, to love you, to love your people. Just like your son did over and over and over again. So God, thank you for reminding us of how great you are. And thank you for reminding us of what you did for each one of us when you sent Jesus. Let us live that out in our lives daily. It's in your son Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you guys. You can grab your seats. And as you do, it is my privilege to welcome up Joshua Reed, the poet.
How you guys doing today? So this is my first time here, so I definitely want to say how honored I am to be a part of you guys' service today. I look forward to possibly becoming a part of the movement and anything else that you guys have going on. So yeah, I'm excited. So I'm actually an actor slash poet. I used to write a lot when I was younger. Kind of stopped as I got older. Life started happening. And I was watching a show about 2 years ago, and the show was like really artistic. It was like it gave you like 90s feel, like the art and everything. And after the last episode of the last season, I was like, man, like I'm inspired to write something. So I was at work, wasn't doing anything. It was a slow day, and just got to writing. Went home and wrote some more. Started playing some music, wrote some more. And this is a personal piece. Basically, it's a story about an event that happened in my life a couple of years ago, and basically how I was able to move forward and overcome it. So, hope you guys enjoy. The will of the night that stood still. The night that stood still when God seemed to have some kind of will. A will that would change our lives forever and draw us even closer together. I watched my mother drive nervously behind the wheel to a place of uncertainty with anxiety of the unknown as we left the place that we all shared and called our home. Tired and confused, I sat in the passenger seat, not knowing what lied ahead of me that week. We pull up to a dark house so quiet and peaceful as we tried to stay so hopeful that our greatest fear was not lying in the bed so near. I watched my mother get out of the car as I kept a close ear to the fear of what I thought I was near. I watched over my little sister, 3 years old, as she slept quietly in the back seat as my mother walks in to pull back the sheets. I'll never forget the loud scream that came from that house as I jumped out to see my mother standing with her hands over her mouth. And as I walk into the room to only see a lifeless hand that used to play in that one great band. See, I turned around and ran so far off into the midnight that all I could do was scream and think of how this just didn't seem right. How could you take him from us at this time of the night when you knew we wouldn't be all right? And to think that the day came when he had no more fight, which left us stuck alone and scared because we knew how much he cared, even though he wasn't spared by the death angel that comes in the night. But it's all right because I know he saw that bright light. As my grandmother walks through the door, she came over like an angel and she covered us as we all fell to the floor. Then the cop showed up at the door and it seemed to hit me again straight to my core. But as I felt my grandmother picking us back up, I saw the strength that God had filled in her cup. See, for every plan God has, we must trust and believe in him. Because even if everything is standing still, we must know that it's all a part of God's will. So on today, my 22nd birthday and the 11th year anniversary of my father's death, just know that we have been kept. Thank you. It wasn't on my 22nd birthday. I'll be 24 this year, so.